Hello, everyone. It is Sashi Nicole, and today we're going to dive into the energies of June. And truthfully, it seems to me that June, at least in 2026, is the most important month that we have experienced so far. Maybe something will match this later in the year, but I don't think any month so far this year has held so much potential for really deep, significant shifts and changes in our lives that are not just for this time, but that are going to be carried forward. What we do this month is going to ripple out. It might sound dramatic to say forever, but literally, we are planting seeds that really have to do with the idea of the splitting prism, the new Earth frequency. All of that is happening right now. The split is happening now. It's no longer this thing that's in the future. It's happening now. That's why everything is so effing crazy. So let's just dive in. For those who don't know me, I'm a priestess, I'm a chantress, I'm a mystery school teacher. My work blends the ancient wisdom traditions of ancient Egypt, ancient Mesoamerica, as well as the Gnostic Christian teachings. Most of you here on YouTube probably know me from my sound work, and I have been pretty quiet for some time. And I have been using my intuitive gifts really to expand my awareness of the internal workings of the universe. And this goes into the mystery school lineages that I'm a part of, as well as my understanding of those lineages themselves and my connection to them. And now I'm being called to take my intuitive gifts and turn them outward once again. And like I said, because June is going to be so intensely powerful, it really feels very right on time. So with that, let's jump in. So as we enter into this month, we're coming right off the heels of this amazing blue moon, that full moon in Sagittarius. And for the collective, that is really expanding our perceptions of ourselves. So to greater and lesser degrees, we all kind of have a box that we put ourselves in. And this box kind of contains what we believe we are capable of, who we believe we are, what things we might achieve in this life. You know, if you live a certain way, you might think, a lifestyle of maybe just living on the beach, being served fruit, like whatever is your highest ideal, you may think that that is in the realm of non-realisticness, but that Sagittarius full moon is basically dismantling those boxes and saying, you don't even know what the universe has in store for you. So that's very exciting. Thank you, full moon. And so that's the energy that we're carrying into this month. And it's not all at once. It is a continuous process of growth that has now been catalyzed for us, as well that super moon, or sorry, blue moon, is pouring super bloom for the gardeners out there on the areas of our lives that are ripe to pop. So if there has been something in your life that you've really been working at for a long time and it's really aligned for you, as in you haven't been pouring a bunch of your energy and time into something that maybe you're trying to fit a certain mold or a certain expectation. It's something that's really aligned with your soul and your purpose. That's gonna pop. That is what that super, I keep wanting to say supermoon, that blue moon is bringing to us. So we have all this acceleration energy coming into the month of June. And the way that we are to integrate this, how we are being called to integrate it, is returning back to basics because we have so much expansion energy. All the work is really being done for us behind the scenes, and it's our job to integrate it. So returning back to basics, just sort of simplifying things as much as you can in your life because the universe is doing so much behind the scenes on your behalf. It's like if you were to start grinding, it would just kind of be laughable. It would be like, someone trying to bench 5,000 pounds. It's like, no, the universe has got it. Like you do your part, let the universe do theirs. And with that as well, we have all this expansion energy. We have to keep in mind that means an expansion of goodness, but there are also somewhat malevolent forces out there. And I don't mean forces as like unseen. I mean the things like really we can see. Obviously, in this period of history right now, we're seeing a lot of evil and a lot of ugly, and those people have their roles to play and they have their path. They're getting super bloom poured on their life too. So it's all of humanity expanding in the ways that are relevant for them. So that means goodness expanding, badness expanding, and really ugly shit expanding, excuse my French. And so with that, that is why we're being called to return to basics, not only for ourselves and our integration people, but also process, not people, but also for our mental health and our sanity, because we are going to be seeing some even more, I'm going to say craziness, but we've been seeing craziness. It's just going to continue. We have to accept that. But with that, we are being asked to be mindful of our frequency and what we are allowing to occupy space in our mind. So everything is expanding. You get to choose the channel that you're on. Do you want to be on the channel that's showing you nonstop horrors, the horrors persisting? Or do you want to be on the channel that inspires you, that makes you excited to be here at this time, that empowers you, that uplifts you? Because we all have that choice to make and we're making it all the time. So please be very mindful, especially in this month of what you're tuning into, because in this period of expansion, there's so much going on that if you allow your mind to be occupied by the horrors that are persisting, and that doesn't mean ignore anything, but it's affecting your frequency. So if you cannot tune into these things without maintaining your own higher frequency state or whatever the frequency is that you want to be, then know that about yourself and choose what you're tuning into. Because if you are very much affected by social media, media in general, the happenings of the world, if that is quite effective at bringing you down, then you need to cultivate, first turn it off, but cultivate ways in which you can really maintain your own frequency. Because like I said, we are planting seeds for the path ahead, for the splitting prism, and that is determined by your frequency. So even if you're just watching in horror, you're matching that frequency. And presumably, you want to be on a path of goodness, of harmony, of peace and love. And so please, please, please be mindful of where you're vibrating at. Let me see if there's any more. Oh, another thing that's coming in for June. Our foundational templates are being swapped out. And when I talk about foundational templates, I'm talking about our energy bodies. So we're all operating on a sort of operating system, so to say, with regards to our chakras, our pranic tubes, our toroidal fields. You could say we all have our own individual operating system, how our energy flows through our bodies. In this month, we are receiving subtle upgrades to that. And so that's another reason why we're being asked to return to basics, because our foundation is literally being shifted. And it's a great thing. It's not a bad thing, but when your foundation is being shifted, you're like to fall over. So you want to keep things really slow, really simple, really basic right now while this swapping out of foundational templates goes on. Another really exciting thing about this month is on June 2nd, we enter into the trecena of Ozomatli. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, I'm referring to the sacred ritual calendar of Mesoamerica. And so Ozomatli is a sign for monkey. A trecena is a 13-day period. So you could think of it as in terms of our concept of a week, but this week is 13 days. And so because it's beginning with the day Ozomatli, one Ozomatli, this entire trecena is ruled by that energy. And so with Ozomatli, we're asked to be or invited to be artists of our lives, to really embrace our creatorship. What are the routines that support us? What do we want to amplify in the masterpiece of our lives? What do we want to modify? And again, this does go back to the concept of going back to basics. Like, we're not being asked to make radical changes here at all. It's just like, what could use a little bit more color? What could use a little bit more texture here? Some cross-hatching here, some shadowing here, more light here. We're really being invited to, with Ozomatli, be be having fun with our creatorship, with our artistic creation that is our lives. If something isn't working in one area of your life, can you try something different? Um, Again, it doesn't mean we have to discard anything completely, like at all, but to shift it, we will have to engage it differently. Nothing changes if we don't change. So if there's something that's not quite working, engage it playfully and just try something different. It doesn't have to be radical. It can just be something minusculely varied. Bring playfulness into the process, not judgment or curiosity. I channeled all these notes yesterday, so that's what I'm looking down at. Um, with Ozomatli, we are reminded that the creator creates with reckless abandon. So, creator is not sitting around looking at the canvas of the multiverse saying, like, ill, oh, I completely messed up on this part. What is going on there? I hate it. No, the creator creates for the joy of the creation. The creator knows that a masterpiece is unfolding, and they might be looking at it like, whoa, what's going on here? But the creator trusts the process because they know that a masterpiece is the end result. That is already known, that is already guaranteed. So it doesn't really matter if things kind of look crazy in the process of getting there. Like, the creator's not judging it. The creator's just having fun. So we can infuse our own masterpieces with that level of playfulness, of curiosity, and lightheartedness. If things aren't going the way you envisioned, or in ways that aren't immediately gratifying, it's okay. It doesn't mean everything's ruined. Know that your life is guaranteed to be this masterpiece. And so again, just embrace any of those areas with playfulness and curiosity. No radical changes here. Just engage things a little bit differently. The creator is as he's creating, as he, she, mother, father, God is creating, it's like throwing paint at the canvas, right? And there's this joy in the process, there's this ecstatic bliss. And that is how we are called to create our lives. We don't need to have so much seriousness. We can have the playfulness and lightheartedness of a child. If something doesn't go well, it's like, oops, oh well, I still know a masterpiece is unfolding. Everything's going to be okay. Focus on what brings a sense of beauty to your life. Focus on what's fun. Focus on what excites the inner child, and allow yourself to focus on creating fun and joy in your life. And so, again, this 13-day period starting on June 2nd and the last day is June 14th. This is this critical period where we have this amazing opportunity to plant seeds for our lives, to really shape and mold our masterpieces as creators. And what's really exciting about this is the last day of this trecena is ending on 13 Calli, which is Calli is the temple. It's the dwelling place of God. It's also structure and it's aligning with the new moon. And so this could not be any more perfect. So let me just shift to my notes on the new moon. So the medicine that this new moon is carrying is this energy of freedom and stillness. And this may seem paradoxical, but they're keys. One unlocks the other. In the stillness, we have the freedom to choose our direction, our frequency. Where do we want to go? What course are we plotting for ourselves? And what does that feel like? And that part is really important. It goes back to what I was talking about in the beginning about choosing your own frequency. What does the path that you want to be on, what does that trajectory feel like when you're on it? Like sensorily, somatically, emotionally, how does it feel? What is your body feeling in this place? And that's why we have to come to a point of stillness. It's going to be next to impossible to really get a genuine answer about this in any other state that is not stillness. You have to come to stillness in order to really lock in on this. And the stillness is also important here because of this day 13 Kali. So 13 is it's a number of the divine feminine. It's a powerful womb energy. It's a threshold energy. It's a transition energy. And so for the new moon to fall on a 13 is just so powerful because it's all the more giving us energy to really plant something in the cosmic womb, in the womb of the Divine Mother. And when I say this, I'm talking about the source of all things, the source of creation. The source of all things, creation comes from the cosmic womb. And we have this really powerful opening to plant the seeds of our masterpiece here. And if things aren't quite going the way you want them, this is an excellent opportunity to really make that shift on this full moon. Kali bringing this structure, this temple energy. It's the temple is the dwelling place of the divine. And so in that stillness, we really have this amazing opportunity to meet the divine and say, here it is. Here is the course that I'm charting for my life. Here's the frequency state that I want to be emanating at all times. Here is my path. I give it to you to hold this for me and to gestate this for me. It's such a powerful time. I cannot overstate. This is why I think June is so incredible in terms of having this really massive ripple effect. And we have not even gotten to the summer solstice yet. So let me just check if there's anything more I want to say on this. Oh, the idea of freedom, being able to choose your frequency and to hold your frequency. This is freedom. If you are constantly kind of at the whim of other people's emotions, other people's energies, things are being shown on social media, it doesn't matter what your external reality may look like, you are not free. True freedom comes from within. True freedom is being able to choose a frequency state and hold it. And so again, this new moon is really like one of the most powerful opportunities we'll probably have this year to really step into our creatorship and hold a certain frequency going forward. And again, this is really critical with the idea of the new earth, the splitting timelines, because we're in it right now. And so whatever that looks like for you, whatever your preferred timeline shift is, this is where you plant that seed. You're not going to get this amazing opportunity again for a while. So please, please, please utilize it. Also consider, to what extent have you been exercising your freedom, especially again with your energy states? What has been intrusive on your freedom? So again, is it social media? Is it someone in your life? Is it a certain situation you're dealing with? Just notice it. You don't have to judge it. You don't have to be mad at it. Just bring awareness to it. Having the awareness is the ultimate power. If you're judging it, you're matching it. So that is not going to serve you. Just simply become aware of it. And that's all you have to do. The awareness is the heavy lifting in making the shift. Simply realize that stillness brings that freedom to choose. So if you are someone that struggles with choosing a frequency and maintaining it, stillness is the medicine, stillness is your friend. June 14th, Gemini new moon, take advantage of it. And also consider too, like, what do you really want? I think sometimes we have ideas of what it is that we want, but that's not what we really want. And we can't really tune into what we really want, what our hearts are really yearning for, except in stillness. So again, keywords for this new moon: stillness, freedom, cosmic womb energy. I cannot overstate how magical this is. Honestly, I feel like this is more potent, much more potent on a personal level than the summer solstice energy. And just one last bit on this new moon. For connecting with this, you want to set the intention to go into the seed point, the 0 point of all creation. And this 0 point, you can think of the infinity loop and that midpoint in the infinity loop. This is the 0 point. This is the source of all things. And if you're thinking, how do I go there? What is this chick even talking about? Just set your intention. All you have to do is set your intention to be in the stillness, be in the 0 point of the Divine Mother, and you will be there. You will be wrapped up in that energy, I promise. Okay. So moving to the summer solstice, and not to discount it, but this energy is actually more potent for the collective, more relevant for the collective than it is for us really as individuals. And so when tuning into this, the main things that came up were the ideas of power and reckoning with power. And so we're probably going to see a lot of varying power dynamics and these questions coming up in society. What does it mean to be powerful? What does it mean to have power? What does real power look like? And also for humans to be reckoning with the fact that we have given up our power for various reasons, sometimes for out of convenience. I don't feel like we don't feel like making these decisions. Let's give it up to these governing bodies to do it for us. Like, we're really in an era because of the splitting prism where humanity at large is being shaken awake to reclaim their power because so many, especially in the mainstream, just kind of sigh when it comes to certain power dynamics that are unjust and say, oh, well, that's just how it's always been. That's not true. That's not factual. And when you say that, you perpetuate it. That is a spell that has been forced upon us. And you don't have to agree with that. We are weaving new spells here. New earth, new timeline, new spells. We have the power. Humanity has the power. Anything that comes from force and domination, that's not power. That is an artificial construct posing as power. It's not real power. It never has been. That's why things that have perpetuated that energy have never lasted. They may have had their times in the sun and their times of empire, but they always crumble, always, 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 always. And so, with this idea of power on the summer solstice, the sun is going to be erupting this really beautiful magnetic, or I shouldn't say magnetic, or that actually just came out, so maybe it is magnetic. This, I think I meant magnificent. Let's go with it. This beautiful, magnetic, magnificent energy of power. And this is actually a download that is intended for the Mother Earth herself. It's available to us, but it's really an upgrade to planet Earth. It is a gift from the sun to Earth. It is waking up Earth's power. And she is holding that and modulating it for us on our behalf. And the way that she's going to be using that, and again, this isn't just like, okay, one day this thing's happening and then it's over. It's a continuous process. She is going to be utilizing that energy to raise the volume on her clarion call. She has been waking people up for a long time, and still there are so many who are sleeping, who haven't heard that call, who haven't woken up to the fact that we are children of the earth. We are of the earth. We are of the soil. We are of the air. We are of the water. We are of the fire. We have become so disconnected and distracted by technology that we see the earth and nature as these separate things. Again, these are artificial constructs, these are spells we're living in. And so, this energy coming from the sun to Mother Gaia is helping to, again, raise the volume on her clarion call to wake people up. She's trying to gather as much of her children as is possible for the new Earth timeline. She doesn't want her children to go deeper down a path of machination, of disconnection, of distraction, because where that path is going is, if you think we're disconnected from nature now, that path is going down a journey of integrating technology, integrating AI with our biology. And that's not really what humans are meant for. It's not what these bodies were made for. These bodies are a highly advanced technology that are capable of so much. Only a fraction of our DNA is truly operating the way it is meant to. And so, for those who go down that path of integration with technology and AI, they're going to be locked in on that frequency of hardly having any of their DNA truly expressing the way that it was meant to, of disconnection, so on and so forth. And so I'm trying not to sound overly judgmental about it, but there's just so much more expansion for us on the organic timeline. We have barely scratched the surface of what human beings are capable of. We are gods. We are creators. These things and more you shall do, as Yeshua told us. So that's the path that I prefer to be on, this one that is one of unfolding magic and the unfolding of the mysteries of life, of beauty and harmony and fellowship, and rivers that we can drink from, and sleeping under the stars. And this other path is just one of a lot of restriction and crushing, because it's still one in which there are elites maintaining artificial control over people. It's a prison, essentially. So, not to get too dark, but that's why the sun is sending this planet that energy. It's to help, like at Trader Joe's, they ring that bell. It's ringing that bell. It's helping Earth ring that bell even louder. It's telling people, wake up. wake up to your power. And if you want to engage with this energy directly, what I was shown was that we can lay on the earth on the solstice, our backs on the earth, our chests, our hearts up to the sky, and allow our bodies to be conduits for this energy that is coming in. Like, because it's literally coming into the earth's field, penetrating the soil, and then in this serpentine motion, descending down to the core. And so, with our bodies on the earth, we can be conduits for that. Like that energy will pass through us, which is really amazing. And what I received about that too, not only are we going to be conduits for that and get that like little spark of activation in us, for the people who are like able to align with this, it's going to expand our heart chakras, and it's catalyzing the ability to hold what has been called the threefold flame at our hearts, the threefold flame of love, power, and wisdom. Like, this is where we are truly meant to be operating at. This is what the ascended masters are doing. And so, this is, again, that time where we are really evolving into what humans were always meant to be, what the masters of the past were showing us, what that we are capable of. So, that will be quite exciting. Oh, and again, I kind of want to say as well in the notes, this is an energy of power. And so you would associate it with the solar plexus, but it's not landing there. Actually, it's landing in our hearts, which is really beautiful because we are at a time too where if the power is not being blended with the heart energy, that's where domination and control comes from, and that's not what we're evolving towards. So it's in our hearts. And so I think even leading up to this, we can start to prime ourselves and get ready to hold this by, talking with the heart and really tuning into our energy body as to what it means to hold power in the heart. And even doing some weaving of the solar plexus energies into the heart, you can see an infinity loop or even just a circle from the solar plexus linking the heart and just looping that energy. And just take note, what does this feel like? And ask yourself, what might this look like in action? Answer those questions for yourself. I think that'll be a really good exploration. Um, so just one more final thing before I sum all this up. Towards the end of June, okay, so I didn't dig into this too much, but what they showed me was that towards the end of June, it's going to be very important to protect your energy. Don't engage in black and white polarized thinking, no doom scrolling. Focus on what's good, focus on what's real, focus on your peace, connect with nature, plants, animals, saturate yourself in the joy and the love that emanates from the natural world, and let this be your shield and your sword. Let the joy and the love that emanates from the natural world be your shield and your sword. I really love that. And I really love the idea of saturating yourself in that energy too, because often when we think of protection, we're thinking of, kind of almost like a ferocity or this like shield thing that we have to put up and kind of be on guard. But this protection is just something that naturally comes when we are saturated in these organic energies, in these energies that know their place, that know their connection to Creator, to the earth. It's we who are out of tune. And so protection comes naturally when we're saturated in those energies. And because of the expansion energy that's coming, and because of all the celestial events of this year and years past, as well as this new moon, as well as the trecena being the creator. Remember, it's not just mindful, conscious people who are engaging with these energies. It's everyone. We all have access to it, good, bad, and ugly. And so as things blossom and bloom for the awakened collective, they're also blossoming and blooming for everyone else. This is probably going to create the potential for stressful situations, for chaotic, dysregulated situations. And so let the peace and love and joy of nature be your shield and your sword for when things start to get crazy. So, just to sum this up, that Sagittarius full moon that we're coming into June with, it's expanding everything. And this is a gift because it amplifies the good and the bad, and the juxtaposition of this helps us get clear about our personal preferences, our wants and desires, so that as we go into the new moon on June 14th, we have this powerful opportunity for planting our intentions for what we really want, what frequency, what path we want to be experiencing, and we have that much greater clarity about it. But remember, we have to utilize stillness. There's a deeply powerful archetypal womb energy that's coming forward with that new moon for us to plant our seeds in. We are only going to be able to access it from stillness. And we only want to use something that is this powerful from a place of deep clarity. So again, this is cosmic divine mother energy. And what you step into her temple with is what you're going to be planting there. So you want to have clarity going into this. You want to be in that chosen frequency state. If you come into an energetic, dysregulated, all over the place, disconnected, that's what she's going to perpetuate because that's what you're saying. This is what I want planted here. And so, again, just allow yourself to have clarity before going into that space because it's a very sacred temple womb space. What you plant there is what's going to come to fruition. You don't want to plant weeds. You only want to plant things that'll bear fruit. Beautiful, sweet, juicy, yummy fruit, sweet smelling flowers. This is a very, very important critical junction for us as individuals. So please utilize this energy well. And that's really about it. So again, I think June is shaping up to be the most powerful month of this year. It's definitely the most powerful month of the year. We'll see what else comes forward. Um, and let this also too be an example of the power of living in organic time, as in an attunement to the cycles, the solstices, the equinoxes, the phases of the moon. And this is also why I really love the Mesoamerican calendar because there's all these other energetics going on as well. If you're an astrologer, you know, the cycles of Venus, so on and so forth. When you follow organic time, you really can see the opportunities that are just around the corner for you to make the most of. And when you're out of organic time, you're kind of just like flopping in the wind here, there, and everywhere because it's based on something artificial. And so I'm wishing you all a really powerful, wonderful month of June. Remember to step into your creatorship, especially that first 13-day period, June 2nd to June 14th. This is such a critical juncture. You don't got to do anything crazy. Go back to basics. Have fun. Be playful with your lives and enjoy yourselves. See you next time.